Well, hey there, it's Elke.
And Jen, and in this episode of the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast, we're talking about the 4 key things that you need to know to profit in the wedding niche on Zazzle. And the reason why we're choosing this topic for this week's episode is because I specialize in the wedding niche on Zazzle, and my store on Zazzle is primarily for wedding related products. And I'm a Gold Pro designer, which means that I've earned over $100,000 in take home earnings on Zazzle. And that means that I have sold over $1 million in Zazzle products that are primarily related to the wedding niche and wedding market. And so we want to speak to you about the 4 key things that you need to know so that you too, if you're interested in profiting in the wedding niche, will also be able to see success within that niche. And the reason why we have chose Zazzle, obviously, to create products online is because Zazzle is, in our opinion, the best print-on-demand online platform for you to make money online. But the wedding niche is also extremely lucrative on Zazzle because they are one of the leading print-on-demand companies that makes it extremely easy for the end customer to buy wedding invitations and to customize them fully. Because Zazzle is a print-on-demand, fully customizable website, when you create products that can be customized by the end user, it makes it easy for them to buy them and then also for you to virtually sell to anyone around the world in multiples.
Without having to be judged and put through hoops in terms of, let's say, Minted, which is another popular wedding invitation website where you can submit your invitations and designs for them to see whether they'll put them on the marketplace. With Zazzle, it's so great. You just put your own up and that's it. There's no judging, there's no trial period, and there's no when you're on Minted, then you have, if they get picked your invitations, then you can't sell those anywhere else. Whereas on Zazzle, you can still sell them on your website, you can do custom orders, you can do all kinds of stuff. And so it just makes it a huge profitable opportunity for you, because if you check out any of our other podcasts where we talk about the referral program, for the promoter program number 2, that also then allows you to be even more profitable because you can make 35% off of any referral income, which means that if you do custom orders, which is something that we do as well, then you're going to get 35% in addition to whatever you set your royalty as for the invitations that you sell when you're doing those custom orders with the brides. And they love to be dealt with and have those custom orders. We have so many brides all over the world that are super, super happy because they came to us and our wedding invitations. And that means that there's opportunity for you because we were not wedding invitations designers to start with. We did a whole bunch of stuff, and we're going to talk to you about the 4 things that were key for us to be able to be successful in this podcast. Zazzle is fantastic because, as Jen mentioned, with the customization fields, the customer can see their invitation, the way that's set up with their own text right away. Yeah. And so that makes it huge. So if you set up, like Jen said, your templates properly, then the customer will be able to easily use and get the work done themselves rather than you having to give them different versions of everything that they have another change on. And it allows them to see it visually instantaneously as to what it is that their invitation will look like and all the other cards that go along with it. So it allows us, because of our business model that we always go by with perceivable, passive, profitable, we love this because it allows us to be passive and profitable at the same time on Zazzle selling wedding invitations. And so that is one of the reasons we love Zazzle and why, because this is how it makes it profitable and passive, because the brides get to fill in the blanks themselves. And so, and then it's happened over 4 million times just for us two. And it's a great feeling to know that we've been a part of other people's weddings all over the world. So, but how do you profit from the wedding niche? Well, I've already told you a couple of things. You can do customization work and you can refer your own products, so you can make 35% more using the promoter program too, in addition to whatever you set your royalty as. Then we're going to now sink into some of the details of how you can be profitable based on what you literally do with that invitation and how you set up your wedding niche within your Zazzle store. Do you want to take it from here?
So the first key point that we want you to focus on is doing your proper niche research. The wedding market is very lucrative, but it's also very specific, and you have to know which popular trends are happening, or the certain colors that are happening that year, or even the types of products that you should be including in your wedding suite. And if you're not informed on what's going on within the proper, like the wedding niche, and having the proper idea of what kind of things you're able to offer your clients or your customers, then you're going to not be able to profit the way that you want to profit in the wedding niche, because it is very specific. So you have to be very well informed of what is encompassed within the wedding niche.
Yes. That's very true. So that does take some work. But if you're wedding like gurus like us in terms of just being able to look at wedding magazines for fun, then you will definitely enjoy that part of the research.
Yeah. So the second thing, or the second key point that we want you to understand, is that you have to make sure that you have the proper product paper types on Zazzle.
You need to use the proper paper product in order to make your wedding invitation or the other pieces that belong to the product suite. And that is very important, because I've done that, like even just yesterday, I did the same mistake, because the product itself, even though it's the same like card, it's going to have different uses. And to help you as a designer get your products featured in the right sorts on Zazzle, Zazzle put specific tags on certain paper types just in order for them to be used in a specific way. So let's say wedding invitation. Mm-hmm. So they'll have literally a piece of paper, even though it's the same piece of paper used for like birthdays and anything else, but you need to pick the one that's for weddings and specifically for wedding invitations, rather than, let's say, save the dates or RSVP cards. So make sure that you check out our other podcasts and our training videos to really get the handle on what it is that you need to know for the paper breakout. And that way you'll be choosing the right starting point to make sure that that particular piece of a digital paper at this point, because that's what it is until people purchase it, but that it gets sorted with your design on it into the right sort so that you can get those sales. And that's how you become profitable, because we don't want you to have it on the wrong paper type, because then it won't actually be found in the right searches and brides won't find it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so talking about suites, because we talked a little bit about that already. Do you want to go into that, or should I?
I can go into that. So in terms of the wedding market, you need to make sure that you have the proper structure to your wedding suite. And what I mean by that is the proper products that go into a specific collection for that wedding invitation collection. When you look at brides who buy wedding invitations, there's always a matching RSVP card, or there's a matching sticker or matching envelope. So there's a certain amount of products and types of products that brides are looking to buy, and you want to make sure that those are present in your wedding collection or wedding suite, because if you don't have those specific items or products on Zazzle within your collection, then you're missing out on potential customers. And then also some brides might not actually choose your design versus another one or another Zazzle designers, because they do have the proper collection or the products within that suite. So you want to make sure that you have the proper items that are included in a wedding collection.
So what are they? Let's go over them. So you want the invitation, you want the RSVP card. Some people want accommodation or some sort of detailed card, so that there's just like a third card that just says details. And then, as Jen said, something to do with how you send it out. So it could be RSVP, an envelope with an RSVP address on it so that they can send the RSVP back. Or you can have like address labels or stickers that go on the outside of the complete package that all of these pieces of paper are going into. And then there's also fun things like belly bands and printed envelopes and liners. So you can go a little bit crazy, but start with some core product pieces first. And then if it sells, you can start to move into those other pieces. Mm-hmm. Okay, so and then what's the other part?
The last one, or the last key point that we want to speak to you about, is knowing exactly what the type of structure is for each product. And what I mean by that is what type of writing or the format of the actual wedding invitation or the format of the actual RSVP card. Because they're so specific, and brides are very specific as well on what they want in terms of the details on their cards, you need to make sure that that particular type of information is present on your Zazzle product. And this is very important because, as we did say, that Zazzle is a fully customizable website that allows customers to customize the product. Brides still need to be prompted or have the proper areas or text fields or template fields for them to fill out. So for example, if your wedding invitation doesn't include certain sets of information or spots where they can input that information, which is normally found on a wedding invitation, then brides might shy away from your wedding invitation and purchase another Zazzle designers because they already have that structure outlined for them.
Mm-hmm. And we always are looking at perceivable, passive, profitable as our business framework. And so here is where you would lose out on profits, because if you don't set the structure up right and do the sample text properly with the proper templates, then the brides are going to be confused or frustrated and actually return your invitation. They'll love the design, but then they realize that they're missing half the details for their wedding. And you have to almost like teach them a little bit, because they're getting married for the first time, most likely. And so they are also just learning. So do a little bit of research yourself. That brings it back to the first thing where you're doing niche research, and make sure that you know specifically what is needed to be on these cards so that you can help the bride out. And by doing that, you just become their best friend, because then you are giving them what they need. They love the design. They're so happy with their invitations, and then they'll order more from you that has to do with the wedding, like anything to do with while they're at the reception, or so thank you cards later. And so you've got this bride for repeat business, which again means profitable. And that's what we're here to help you so that you can be profitable in the wedding niche on Zazzle.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we noticed in our students when they go through our training that helps them with the wedding invitation niche, what we've realized is that it's really crucial to also get a lot of help with the design. And so therefore, what we've done actually is set up a wedding invitation bootcamp specifically for the Zazzle marketplace. So by doing this bootcamp, and you're more than welcome to sign up and enroll, is that you will end up knowing exactly what card types, what sizes, what to put on everything, what are the niche trends, and most importantly, you're going to get a chance to build out a suite, put it in a collection properly, and be able to get a critique on your design. And that's why it's called the Wedding Invitation Bootcamp, because we literally walk you through everything and create the wedding invitation suite, your first one, if that is the case, and you get it critiqued as well. So if that interests you, check up with us and see when we're holding another one of these boot camps, or if you can do it as a self-study, and we just help you out that way and still do the critique for you. So that then really gets people feeling comfortable being in the wedding niche, because it is so profitable, isn't it?
Yeah. And some of the students who have been through the wedding invitation boot camp have seen like very, very fast success, and also have realized that the wedding invitation niche and market isn't actually as scary as they thought that it would be initially, because a lot of Zazzle designers think that they can't get into the wedding niche because it's already oversaturated, or there's too many designers that are on there, or that they don't even actually know what is included within the wedding collection like we spoke about. And so they're very unaware or nervous of getting into the Zazzle marketplace within the wedding niche, because they think that they just won't succeed. And a lot of our students who have gone through the wedding invitation bootcamp have seen success later on after taking the course and also going through all of the bootcamp material and getting their Zazzle products critiqued, their wedding invitation critiqued, because
they're always so surprised.
Yeah.
But it's not. That's the key, is that they're not supposed, like, that's great that they're surprised, but we aren't surprised, because once you do it correctly and you get the right training, then you start to see success, right? And so that's really, really important to remember that you need to get the help that you need in order to actually compete. But then once you get that help and you do it correctly, then you can compete. And all the time, customers are coming to the Zazzle marketplace to find something new and fresh and interesting. And that's where you can compete in the wedding niche on Zazzle. Yeah. So thanks so much for listening. Do you want to recap the 4 points?
Okay, so the 4 key things that you need to know to profit in the wedding niche on Zazzle are: do your niche research for the wedding marketplace, templates and understand what kind of trends are happening, what's going on within the wedding space, and just get your core research down so that you know what to actually do in order to serve the customer properly. Then you want to know the proper collection or suite structure, and that means including the proper Zazzle product types within your collection. And then you also want to make sure that you are creating your products on the proper product paper types. So you want to make sure that you are creating the invitation on the proper designated invitation for weddings on Zazzle, because there are different designated paper types for different specific things. Then you want to make sure that you have the actual structure of your sample text or the composition of your wedding invitation or wedding products proper on Zazzle, because if you don't have those templates or the proper structure, then brides are going to be hesitant to purchase your designs.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to get into the Zazzle wedding market. But if you are afraid and you think you could be doing well there, but don't realize what you need, when you think that you don't know what you need, then you can get the help, and that would help you move forward in your Zazzle business. And lastly, make sure that you understand that when you start to work in the Zazzle marketplace with the brides, you can actually get quite a bit of referral income, because you can maybe make 35% if you are in the promoter program number 2, all of which will help you profit in the wedding niche on Zazzle.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.